That's it. That's the intro. This is Heart Standard. This is Heart Standard. I'm Craig Cairns. That is our returning Joel Sked. We have just watched Hearts win the Edinburgh Derby, the first Edinburgh Derby of the season in dramatic fashion. Craig Halkett scoring a late winner. Joel, what were your thoughts on that?
Sorry, I was messaging someone about a pint after this. There's no better way to win a derby when you've not played. You can win a derby two ways. You can hammer them 5-1, you can or 5-1 again, win 4-0, or you can play okay, look towards getting a draw, and win it in the end in stoppage time. You look back to the Lawrence Shanklin derby, Easter Road, a couple of seasons ago, and now this will always be the Craig Halkett derby, because he was, as we're going to talk about, imperious at the back, and then with a brilliant winner. Not just that feeds into, because there was so much expectation and hope, excitement about this game, and then to win it in that way, and everything else that surrounds it. We're top of the league, and the chance to go from 3 points ahead of Celtic and an unbeaten record to now 5 points ahead of Celtic, having won a derby, finally won a derby after last year's shambles. I was going to say it was perfect. In a way, it was perfect. It could have been more perfect, but that would have. I don't know what that required. I'm just speaking now.
Yeah, Craig Halkett, the man of the moment. It might be easy to look at our instant analysis and think that section has just been written because he is the man of the moment and because he scored the goal. You added one line at the end about his goal, and it was just his performance, and his performances this season have been much more than he's a threat in the opposition box. But first and foremost, he's just an absolutely amazing pure defender.
Yeah, absolutely, he is. Because that was it. Because you looked at, there was two elements to it. I thought the attack didn't quite click. Wrote about that. Shanklin, Braga, it just, like, individually, collectively, they didn't quite click. But that was also, as McInnes kind of mentioned, that the players behind them didn't really help them in that instance. But on the flip side, you look at a team who've been so good at attacking, now looking so solid at the back, and a big part of that is Craig Halkett. He is everything you want in a centre back in Scottish football. I think I didn't go back and check. I'd written it. I really should have went back and checked, but I written it really late on. Most clearances, most headed clearances, most duels won, most headed aerial duels won as well. He is always in the right position. He is aggressive. He is committed. He's full-blooded, and he gives you that threat in attack. And that's why in one of my predictions at the start of the season, I tipped him to score 10 goals this season. So he's getting.
How many is that?
I think he's 4 or 5. So
right, yeah.
It's doable. But yeah, he's been a revelation, considering you go back to the summer and everyone was thinking, looking at the centre back cohort, so many. Stuart Finlay comes in like, okay, Craig Halkett might be up in danger. His availability's not been great the last few seasons. He's into the final year of his contract, and you think he's actually someone who other teams in Scotland would think, okay, if we would happily take him. And my fear was that he would go somewhere else and do what he's done this season, play every week and be such a threat, but also such a solid centre back. And he was tremendous today, and you just feel when he's fit and in this in the team, you just feel so much better. Our best. You go back to a few seasons ago under Robbie Neilson, played that back three. He was in the middle of the back three, and he was such a key reason why Hearts finished third that season. And you see that the following season, he gets injured and the team drop, and it's not a coincidence. But when he's fit, he is the best centre back at the club, and also a really good goal scorer.
3 clean sheets in a row. The same team started the match 3 times in a row. I think it was a reward, vindication, whatever way you want to put it. Just going with the same again. They had deserved to go out again the same 11. Maybe didn't quite, as you've already said there, didn't quite click in an attacking sense. I think McInnes did say that he was a bit disappointed with the lack of crosses into the box at times, and there was a couple of times where the switch was on and they didn't take it and things like that. But you still always felt that I wouldn't say I was confident there was a goal coming, but I I felt like Hearts were always a threat still, if that makes sense. Braga didn't have a good game, but he still always looks like he's on the edge of doing something. Kizaridis, again, not his best day, but he was still most likely that something he would do something in the first half. So it wasn't like goalless first half performances I've seen in the past where it's like nothing's happening. There was still a threat being carried there.
Yeah, absolutely. And going back to the three starting 11s, the same starting 11 in a row. Matthew Harold asked us on, he should hopefully watch this, or listen to this, he asked us on social media, when was the last time that happened? I've got enough on my plate tomorrow morning on Sunday to do, but I'm going to spend so much time on London Hearts trying to work that out, because I think it's going to be a long time since that happened. But yeah, they deserve to, from the last two performances, to continue with that, because you look at the two performances, both attacking and defensive sense, so you understand why you just continue a game. So it was just, from a game that I thought promised to be a potential blockbuster, it was just a typical Edinburgh derby where it was hare 'em, scare 'em. There was not a lot of time. Didn't think we can. I'm not overly fussed about possession. Hearts having a lot of possession, but there was just not enough kind of control where we'd be able to settle on the ball, get it wide, put the ball in the box, win it back, high up the pitch, get it, set it, and go again. There was too much back and forth, and it just didn't really settle down. It probably played in the Hibs' hands more because they were happy to go more direct to Bowie and Boyle. But even though it didn't play well, you were kind of looking at the subs bench a lot to see McInnes. I think we spent most of the second half looking. I was like, when's he going to make a change?
Whenever the sub went out to warm up, we're like, is one of them going to get called back?
Is he going to go back? Is he going to change it to back three? Is he going to replace Kizaridis with Forrest? And Hearts fans going mental. So you're kind of working at all these potentials, but he did. He left it, and I kind of asked him like the time in the subs, because usually he's a bit more proactive. He probably wanted to leave Shanklin on. Didn't want to disrupt that, because, like you said, Braga wasn't great, but he's still a pain in the arse. Shanklin wasn't great, but he's your most likely.
What McInnes said, what was it, the game that he won recently or scored recently, and he said that's why you keep Shanklin on.
Exactly, because if you wanted to drop to someone, you wanted to drop to Shanklin. So it waited until it was the 74th minute he made the triple change. It was late-ish on, but when he did make the changes, well, the formation stayed the same roughly. McInnes talked about having played wing backs. I didn't really see that. We need to watch it back, but went with Steinvender, and then Milne went to left back, and then you've got Kerjota, so you've got two out-and-out wingers there. And while we weren't great after that, it was an intention that this Hearts team will continue to go to the end and won't settle when the game's there to be won. That was a substitution what was there to win the game, and that's what happened with Kerjota having his biggest contribution, probably the best cross from that side of the Hearts pitch since Mirsad Bizlija against Dundee United in 2006. So yeah, it was
wait, the Bouzid one was after that. Who put in the cross for Bouzid?
Yeah. Who did put that? Suso maybe. Yeah, that's I can just recall Boozy's goal, but I can't remember who put the cross in. So someone will tell us in the comments.
Well, I was going to go at the triple change next. Actually, it was. I think McInnes knew that's what you were kind of getting at from the question. I mean, he didn't quite say why was the sub so late, but I think he said in his answer somewhere that they were a bit late. But he said that it was interesting. He said, in fact, when you were describing there, when he was talking about the setup and stuff, when he said that, I was like, this is just all going over my head. I'm going to have to listen to this back and either get a tactics board out or like draw a diagram for myself. Because he was talking about like the wing back being on the centre midfielder and stopping this channel and all this kind of stuff. But he talked about that balance. He talked about, I don't think it was why the substitution was delayed, but the decision they were wanting to make was, it was a 0-0 game. It was a precarious game. They wanted to go for the win, but without gambling too much and leaving themselves too exposed. Because let's be honest, Hibs, at one point, Hibs looked the most likely to score with the Boyle chance coming off the bar and things like that. There were a few worrying moments.
Yeah, they were, and that's always the thing about opening up too much against Hibs, is that even when he's not playing well, Boyle's got that pace to really, really hurt you, and he showed that when he ran past McInnes. But that was I think that was up until up until the Halkett goal, that was probably the only difference between Hearts and Hibs was that Boyle chance, and he probably should have scored. Aside from that, the chances and the opportunities were relatively even. I need to check the XG and stuff, but I can't think of Hearts having too many clear-cut chances in that. I don't think it had any clear-cut chances in that situation. So yeah, it was a fine balance, but you did explain it with Steinwender, bringing Steinwender on. He's got that pace. Well, he might not be as quick as Boyle. He's got that mobility to excuse me. He's got the mobility to make it more difficult for Boyle. So yeah, it was that balance, and it's came up trumps. So another game, another moment, another change where when we were reflecting on the season, it was another thing where McInnes has had a positive impact with these changes.
Any other business? Where does this leave us? Which one do you want to go to? Where does this leave Hearts? I just want to give you the chance to say top of the league again.
Yeah, absolutely. Top of the league going into the international break. That's an element of frustration, is that you want to notification was on WhatsApp.
What's something to do with me?
You're wanting to continue to play because it's been a bit McInnes is a bit stop-start, but it gives you that wee bit of period, wee bit of break to build people back up. Borchgrevink back in, Aguirre ahead of the Kilmarnock game as well. So it's a really exciting position to be in, because there's nothing better going into the international break when you are full of confidence, and Hearts fans can put their feet up. Probably hungover tomorrow, watching the Celtic game, and comfortable. No matter what happens, Hearts are top of the league going into the international break. McInnes, I think the only time Hearts and whether it's the players or the management will start talking about title challenge and stuff is maybe probably February at the earliest. I would say,
exactly.
But
I mean, for me, the conversation is, can Hearts last? And then you start to talk about whether they can then go on to win the title. They've got to be in it in the last 6-7 games. There's no point in jumping the gun. Nobody out with Rangers and Celtic for a number of years has shown anything close to getting that close. So you have to get over that hump before you can even start to talk about title challenges.
And that's a big thing. So I'll come back to that for a second, but. Like McInnes said, I like the fact that, well, he's keeping it very calm, and it's only 7 games in. He's like, supporters should be excited, and that's the point. And we'll get carried away. He was
indulging himself at the end of the game there.
He was. We've got a few clips that'll go up over the next 24 hours of McInnes, and just general celebrations as well. But it's important that Hearts fans just enjoy it for what it's worth. And you see the status. Rangers, Celtic aren't great, so hopefully you just continue, because you and keep, whether we're top of the league going into the new year or whatever, just kind of keeping close. And you've got Chesnikov to come in, really excited. Derek McInnes is really excited about him. Aguirre to come back.
Mentions him all the time, eh?
Yeah, Aguirre. And so two guys who are transformative players who can really elevate the starting 11, and you've got them to come back in. Kerjota slowly building. Kabori, while he wasn't involved, he scored 2 lovely goals against Falkirk in the bounce game. So you've got these guys who are still contributing in the background and slowly build in. So yeah, it's hugely exciting. So the next roll on Kilmarnock in a couple of weeks' time is like, just who cares about Scotland?
What are we going to do with ourselves? What you can do is get yourself over at heartstandard.co.uk and check out lots of reaction from this game. There'll be more throughout the coming week. We will also keep you updated during the international break. Please give us a wee subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you all soon.